I knew she had been in Japan for 5 days, with 4 more to go. She had called me once the day before, and today I was certain she wouldn't be home. Not for a few more days, at least. Yet I clearly heard her voice, distinct and clear, coming from the living room. It took me a few seconds to realize. I was still a bit groggy. Then I understood something was wrong. I got up hurriedly, my feet trembling, slowly making my way toward my bedroom door. I could hear my mom's voice through the small gap under the door. She was speaking quickly, faster than usual. I strained to listen to be sure I wasn't dreaming. It was her voice, but she was speaking in a language I didn't understand. I couldn't move. I didn't know if it was a dream or if I was losing my mind. I stayed there in the darkness of my room, listening. She spoke in this strange dialect, with something off about her pacing, faster and faster, almost like she was trying to set a speed record. I decided to go see. I opened my door just a crack and peered into the hallway, then pulled back to avoid being noticed. At the end, I saw my mom. She was sitting on the couch, in the soft morning light, staring blankly into space. Her hair was messy, as if she hadn't slept in 2 days. But what struck me was that she was there, the phone pressed to her ear, eyes glazed over and expressionless, speaking in a language I didn't know. I didn't dare make a sound. I didn't even know if she could see me. I stayed frozen, watching this surreal scene. She didn't seem to hear me. She kept talking rapidly, and the words coming out of her mouth didn't resemble a normal conversation. It was like she was reciting something at lightning speed, but in an unknown language. I froze. I didn't understand. I thought of everything, but that. I wanted to talk to her, but I couldn't move. I slowly backed away from the door, as quietly as I could, and closed it behind me. I listened. She didn't stop. The minutes passed, but it felt like hours. The words kept pouring out, faster than ever, like she was trying to outpace Eminem. I lay on the bed, staring at the ceiling. I couldn't think. Every passing minute made me feel worse, but I couldn't do anything but lie there, paralyzed. Then, after about 10 minutes of keeping up the pace, she suddenly stopped. No noise, nothing. It was even stranger. I stayed there, almost holding my breath. I thought everything would return to normal. But no. Then suddenly she started again. But this time, it wasn't words. She was screaming. It wasn't sentences anymore, just sounds, screams, like she was pleading. Screams like I'd never heard before. It sent chills down my spine. She kept screaming, louder and louder, as if she were in some uncontrollable panic. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I was stuck, paralyzed, caught between fear and confusion. I couldn't even breathe normally, as if the air in the house had become heavier. Then, suddenly, silence. Nothing. The phone stopped ringing. The door opened slowly, as if it had unlocked by itself. I moved closer, remaining frozen in the darkness, half hidden in the shadow of the hallway, watching the room. She was there, on the couch, motionless, eyes fixed in space. The phone was still in her hands, but she wasn't speaking anymore. Her lips moved, but no sound came out. It was just terrifying. There was tension in the air, as if the rest of the world had disappeared around me. The door slammed shut by itself, the loud noise pulling me out of my daze. I didn't move. I stayed there in the dim light, frozen, my eyes glued to the small space under the door where the only light came from. After what seemed like an eternity in that heavy silence, I heard her again. But this time, she was laughing. A very sudden, loud laugh, as if she had burst out laughing in the middle of a conversation. A rapid, almost compulsive laugh, but it wasn't joyful. It wasn't sincere. It was quick, as if she was forced to do it, a laugh that decomposed with every passing second. I didn't understand immediately. I didn't want to understand. I lowered my head, hiding in the darkness, hoping the noise would stop, hoping everything would return to normal. And then, it became silent again. No more noise. I didn't dare leave my room. Not yet. I was paralyzed, unable to move. The silence was oppressive, heavy, like a blanket too thick. The minutes seemed to stretch endlessly. I had no idea how long it had lasted, but it felt like an eternity. I didn't hear anything anymore. Nothing at all. Then, after what felt like half an hour, my phone vibrated. I grabbed the device, my hands shaking. The message was from my mom. The photo appeared first. She was smiling in front of the Sensoji temple, just like she always did, joyful, radiant, as if nothing had happened. Nothing could have seemed more normal than this image. But the caption froze me. Sending kisses from Japan, thinking of you a lot. I stared at the photo for a few more seconds, my eyes fixed on it, as if I were looking for a detail that wasn't there. But there was nothing strange. Nothing that would reassure me. I didn't know what to do. I felt a lump in my throat. All of this seemed impossible. Deep down, I just hoped I'd wake up and realize it had all been a horrible, far too realistic dream. But no. How, then, could I have seen my mom in the living room barely an hour ago? I stayed there, motionless, staring at the screen of my phone, unable to make a move. The photo was there, but in my head, everything felt off. As if somehow everything I had experienced in the last few minutes was just an illusion. I stayed frozen in my room for minutes, maybe hours, not knowing what to do. I didn't respond. I didn't say anything. I just let the fear settle in, unable to remove it. And I still have no explanation.